Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. How everything been going for you?
Everything's good, man. I can't complain, just fatherhood and just, locking into that and just enjoying it, man. How about
That's
you?
what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Everything's going good, man. Like I said, my co-host couldn't join us. He's in Texas celebrating our homegirl graduating college and everything like that.
Okay.
Congratulations again, Bree. And
Yeah, congrats, Bree.
like I said, I couldn't make it unfit, so I said, well, I'll take care of this part, and do what I can. So for those of you that don't know, this is 9-year NFL vet. Um, all with the number one brand in sports, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Tyrone Crawford, man, former D lineman.
Yes, sir. I
You
appreciate you
know,
having me on, man.
welcome to the show, man. Thank you for making the time, man, and fitting us in your schedule.
Absolutely, man. The thing is the kids, so I
For
just
sure,
got
man.
done, getting them all ready to head over to their cousins. So, it was perfect timing, man. I appreciate you having me on.
For sure, man. For sure, man. So, among some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today, man, was for one, just tell me how it was being a part of not only the NFL but the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, obviously, that it's the biggest brand in sports, the best brand in sports, top of the line. Jerry did his thing when it comes to the Cowboys. Obviously we have more haters than, most teams have fans, right?
Right.
It's kind of just like, I don't know whose side you're on this Drake and Kendrick thing, but Drake has more haters than Kendrick has fans.
Right.
So it's like LeBron. LeBron has to deal with the same kind of thing. More haters than some players have fans. So
Right.
that you have to deal with the Cowboys. But that means obviously that Jerry and the family has done an amazing job with the star and what it represents and you know um, so for that part, being part of the biggest was dope. I mean, you can't really. That's where everybody wants to be, even if they don't say it. That everybody wants to be with the Cowboys. So that part was dope alone. And then the NFL, man. Just the rarity of it, and just the fact that it was something that I thought about at times when I was a kid, and the dream got more and more as I was growing up. I mean that part, man. That's something that I have to continuously remind myself about. Just when I think about it, remind myself like, hey, man, like you did do that. You went to the league. That's something huge.
Yeah,
So
man.
always, even for the young players that are getting in now or the old players that have played, man, pat yourself on the back because it's a huge accomplishment, and sometimes it takes taking a step back to actually realize that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Um, so just to rattle off a few of your stats, man. 9 years, 112 games played, 79 starts, 194 tackles, 25 sacks, 65 quarterback hits, 33 tackles for a loss, and I could go on and on. And talking about the Dallas Cowboys and stats and being in the NFL, and with you bringing up your childhood, at what point was it always your dream to go to the league? Because I read that you are also a three-sport athlete in high school.
Yeah, like as you know, like when you're growing up, everybody got hoop dreams, and
Yeah, for sure.
we were watching some of the ballers that we had growing up
Yeah.
to be able to watch the Kobe's and stuff of the world. We all had hoop dreams. My favorite player ever, still, I think, a big shout out to LeBron. I think he's the best ever. But Shaq, to me, is the number one of all time. So I was a big man in high school, so I had them hoop dreams. But obviously, you kind of go with what works. Go with what you feel you're best at. And going into grade 12, and that's something that was hard for me, but. Yeah, football just kind of just I just fell in love with it. When you start to realize that, when you go out and hit, it's not as bad as you think. It turns into your favorite sport pretty quick. Definitely us being men and thinking we're warriors and gladiators, which we pretty much are modern day gladiators. So,
Yeah, for sure.
the dream, started to grow when I felt like I can when I started having those glimpses of like success throughout junior college and throughout college. And, people kind of chitter chatting about it might be a possibility. I'm from Canada. I didn't think it was going to be a possibility at all. I thought that, the route that I was going was CFL, which I was super pumped about too. That was a dream of mine to make the CFL,
Yeah,
but then just happened to fall into the NFL draft, and yeah, third round of the Cowboys. So I mean, it's been a blessing ever since. I mean, it's always been blessed, but I mean that was a big part. That's a big part of my life, and it was definitely a huge blessing.
for sure, man. So like you said, third round, 81st pick in the 2012 draft. Um, like you said, junior college, you out there, you making plays, you working hard, and people start chit chattering and talking and saying, "Oh, it's a possibility that you could go at some point in the draft." What point did you for yourself realize, like, bruh, I'm actually like that, and I can really, really do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, coming from Canada, like that was I'm happy I made it in steps like that, like, high school in Canada, and then I went to junior college. Like, if I went straight D1, I might have had a different story. But, going to JUCO, I took that, that first step, in football. You know, I was like, hey, like this is where you see, like, if you can ball with them American boys, then you can
Yeah,
ball. You know what I'm saying? So, and JUCO was my true test. And I did my thing at JUCO. We had some good success as a team, and also like I had great coaches. And yeah, I kind of made a transition from tight end to D end, and started getting after the quarterback. It felt good, getting sacks, big moments, and I guess like to be real, like where I thought personally, I always think like sometimes I either have an underinflated perspective about myself, or maybe an
right,
over
right.
inflated. Maybe a little glimpse of it was knowing that I could play with the American JUCO guys, getting a scholarship, and kind of making like all conference in JUCO. That was kind of where I was like, okay, maybe that NFL is a possibility. But it really didn't start like thinking like, man, like this for sure is a possibility until like
Yeah,
my senior year at Boise.
that's what's up,
Um,
man. That's what's up.
and yeah, I mean, but again, you got to understand like where I'm from, like the CFL is like the step that like obviously you think like, hey, if I can make the CFL, that's big, and then I could try to
Right.
go to the NFL. Like that was always like in my mind, my route that I was probably going to take is go to the CFL, and then I had to ball in the CFL for them to bring me up.
Right.
But it just happened differently, yeah. So I mean, God is good, and yeah, I worked extremely hard, and yeah, I did like extra work, like when my thing was like I just didn't want, and again, my mind, I didn't want to think anybody was outworking me, like around the nation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would do just like extra things. I'd go to the stadium at 12 midnight when all my boys and everybody were sleeping, and I'd hit 12, 15 stadiums just because do push-ups, sit-ups.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I wanted it. I knew that. I knew I wanted it, but it didn't come to reality until that senior year at Boise.
Right. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'll say one of the big things for me is I'm a professional barber, and I was blessed to go into the barber shop that I'm in, Hitman House of Style, and we have a lot of great conversations, great camaraderie, and we love obviously talking sports and stuff like that. And every now and then you'll have that person that says, "Oh well, these athletes they don't deserve that much money, and they da da da, and they this, they that." And like I like to tell them, like, bro, like for one, if I came to your job and told you, well, hey, you don't deserve $20 an hour, you deserve, man. If it was me, I'd pay you 14. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying for
yeah,
extra.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I
I
feel
love.
like you guys as athletes, especially once you make it to that professional league that you're going to, people start to look at you as not even a person anymore.
Yeah.
You're an object, you're a thing, oh, I feel like you should do this and I feel like you should do that. I feel like his life or her life should be like this and this and this. And like I always try to argue with people, they're human just like us. At the end of the day, you love what you do. We see you guys on TV, commercials, endorsements, but you guys work for that. Everything that you just said, it wasn't like you woke up one day and said, "Well, I'm ready to go to the NFL." You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Draft me. I want to go to the Cowboys. Like, come on, you worked your whole life for that. And like you said, you thought that your route was going to be going to the Canadian Football League first and then working your way to the NFL, but God had another plan for you. So just speak to what what was the treatment like once you got well, for one, let me slow down. with the NFL draft just happening, like take us through that feeling once you got that call. Because I've been seeing like a lot of people's draft videos and stuff like that, and I love watching them. It's cool for me because it's a person realizing their dream, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
it is, and to get that call and that confirmation that I made it. Like this is no longer a dream of mine. This is no longer like, yeah, the work begins and I have to keep working hard. But at this moment, that's that validation.
Yeah.
So speak to me on what that night was like for you and what it felt like.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go into the whole thing there. So, like, first of all, I love the barbershop conversations. My
Yeah.
barber's actually a pastor, Pastor Noah, but he's a goat in the barber game as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does his thing, but our conversations are always insane. I've been trying to tell him to get on camera. Maybe that would be a dope interview if you ever have the time. You and him
Man,
chopping it up.
I'd love to.
Yeah, that I can connect y'all for sure. But and then going into kind of how what you were talking about, and that kind of falls in like when people like don't treat us as humans or like I know what you're saying, and it happens like to people outside of your family. Like my brother will, he don't give a damn what the heck I'm talking about. He'll slap me upside the head.
Yeah.
And he's my little brother. Outside of that, like outside of like the family and friends, close friends, yeah, it does kind of get like that to where people kind of forget, like hey, like try your best to the golden rule, try your best to put yourself in that person's shoes, and it's hard, what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's really hard, for somebody that's seeing somebody get hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're like, I get that side of it. I was on that, I was on that side of it. There was a time where I was like, looking at NFL players like, damn man, they didn't do this and this and this, they got all this money, or I had my own perception of what they should be doing, and I was that person in the judgment spot. But that I mean that's a real thing, and I think that in the obviously the golden rule is treat others how you would want to be treated. So like you're right, you don't go into someone's job talking about you go into a barber chair like, boy, you should probably be getting 30 instead of 40, that's low. The taper ain't like perfect, you know what I'm saying? But no, yeah. So I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you having our backs on that, especially in the barber chair. That's huge.
For sure.
But that going into your last question, that call in that day, and just like the feeling and realizing that one of your dreams is coming to reality. And it's like your main dream at that point too, right? Like that's what you've been working for. That's what you went to college for. Like the main focus was kind of, that sport. It's when I say like I can't even really explain it. It's more like a feeling that like you can't explain. It's like so good, like realizing it, and then like to have genuinely happy people around you at that moment is also like magical. So. The feeling is amazing, and it's honestly like, I know you obviously had things in your life where you worked super hard for it, and then, it comes to fruition, and then it's starting to like really like, it's starting to really go for you like the barber is right now, it's starting to really go for you. You got your confidence in it. I mean, that's kind of the thing. It was that step, it was a really, really high moment at that time. And then, throughout the night, you're like, damn, like, okay, but now I'm a Cowboy. Yeah. Like now I got to get out there with the D Wares and the J Ratlifs and, try and hold my own, you know what I'm saying? And I got to go up against, like what eventually was the best O-line, in football, but in my opinion, with Travis and when Ron Leary was guard and Zach Martin, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins, Doug Free was there, like that, like.
We got some dogs up there.
Yeah, like the O-line, that's a daily for us. We have to go up against the best O-line in the league, every single day. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was a dope feeling. It was a great feeling. Throughout the night, you're like, yeah, like this feeling's dope, but then that high kind of comes down and it's like,
it's back
to
work.
Yeah, it's work. This is just kind of the beginning. And hopefully that feeling comes for a lot of people, because if they're riding that high into rookie minicamp, they're gonna get it's not gonna be nice for them.
Heck yeah, man. So heck yeah, man. So like for someone like me, just you speaking of that, like even this interview right here, is a dream come true of mine, because
Huge.
for me, I regrettably didn't play sports. But I always loved sports. Growing up, my dad was always a diehard Cowboys fan, so naturally, me watching football, that was the first team I fell in love with, and like I said, it's just continued since this day, and getting into basketball, and I'm trying to get into other sports right now as well. But this right here is a dream come true of mine, to be able to talk to someone who experienced these things, let alone played for my favorite team. I watched you on TV making plays, doing these things on the sideline, and so for one, like I said, thank you personally.
Well, hey, man. Like, honestly, like, before you go on, like, it speaks to, your passion and your drive. Like, if, like, I know people out there doing podcasts, and they're, they think about, oh, it'd be cool to, have Dallas Cowboy on, like, my favorite team ever, but they never reach out, they never actually, go and, try and pursue to get that person on. And you did. And I mean, like, again, bro, I'm happy. I'm super happy to do this, and happy to, be that guy for you, and hopefully a breakthrough into many other players. You know what I mean? So
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I think it's dope how you go about it. And Coach Marinelli, my favorite coach ever. I can't say that my favorite coach ever, but he's one of my favorite coaches. Sure. He's up there, in the what do you call it, the Hall of Fame.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore, absolutely. And yeah, so he, when he was telling us about his first job, like, he was just showing up at, I think it was like, I forget what office he was telling us, but the point is, he was showing up at the head coach's office, like, every day, like, hey, like, I want to do this, I want to coach, like, I want to coach. And eventually the coach was like, all right, man, damn, like, come on. And then he became one of the best D-line coaches in the NFL. So
yeah, man.
And coordinators in the NFL, right? So, I mean, I think personally. But yeah, like the Warren Sapps of the world, like, he's the master splinter, of all these crazy guys. Sure. But yeah, man. So I don't even know where we were at with that, but yeah, you this being a dream, I'm happy, man. I'm happy to be this, this guy for you to start this off, because it's dope.
I appreciate it, man. And like I said, hopefully that leads into, like I said, us being able. You trust me, you're a lifelong friend for the show already. So
we're locked.
And like I said, man, hopefully, like I said, we're able to do more dope stuff together. So just you speaking on that, and just having all these great experiences, what would you say was the highlight of your career? Like, if you had, of course, it was probably many of them, but like, if you just had to name one off the top of your head, what would it be?
Honestly, I could say a bunch of different games. I could say a bunch of different things like that. Going into war with, like, dudes that you love, and, like, your brothers that you spend a lot of time with. I mean, that alone is like one of the dopest things, like, a man can do. But I would say, like the first thing that popped into my mind when you said that, and it's kind of something, this is why I wish I could have played a little bit longer, was, like, my daughter, my oldest daughter actually remembers coming to watch me play, and my second, I have 4 daughters, but my second daughter, doesn't remember, but she's there, and we got video. So that to me was some of the dope. That's the dopest thing that I can say I experienced in football, was to have my little one, come and watch me. And, like, that's why, like one of my best friends is DeMarcus Lawrence, and all his kids are older and get to watch him, like, go crazy on the field, right? And I think it's the dopest thing ever. I'm close with his kids and his sons, and just knowing, like, they're all nonchalant about it now, they're super cool about it, his sons, but being able to, like, talk to their pops about that later on in life, and just even his daughters, just talk to their pops about that, and say, like, hey, I actually remember you, like, getting that sack against, whoever. Man. That's dope to me. So I think that's, that was one of the realest moments for me in football.
That's what's up, man. And like I said, once again, just kind of going back to, like, the barbershop talks and stuff like that. Just like me and my co-host, that's how all of this started with us. We've been boys since high school, and we always talked sports nonstop. We game, and while we gaming, we talking sports. We are.
What do you play?
Sports, so we we talking every single day, you know. And so I told him a couple years ago, well, maybe last year, 1 or 2 years ago, I was like, man, I said, I'm watching these people podcasting and stuff. I said, why can't we do that? You know? And I
Yeah,
was like, bro, we talk it every day. I said, yeah, we don't play and stuff like that. I said, and trust me, I said, regardless of our opinions on it, they doing something that I can't do. They got
yeah,
money that I ain't got right now, you know, but they work for it, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of how we feel, it's still a level of respect that we have for you guys no matter what, you
yeah.
know, because just
Appreciate
like we
that.
tell them about basketball, I said the person on the bench, the person in the G League, they'll, excuse my language, but they'll come down here and bust our ass, you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
that's just the truth of it, you know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say, like, we so like I said, we just decided to go ahead and, you know, we talked about it, and then next thing you know, we just started buying equipment, and we just said, hey, we're gonna try it. And so like I said,
Fire.
my boy that owns the shop that I cut in, man, real good dude. Like I said, I went in there on Sunday, cut my boy hair, and we were just sitting there talking about it, and I had brought the camera, and we was just like, man, you want to shoot something? And it was the day before or after Super Bowl Sunday this year, you know, and we were just like, man, let's do it now, you know, like we ain't necessarily got nothing prepared, you know, but we'll get better at it, we'll figure it out, but you got to start somewhere, you know.
Absolutely.
So like I said, yeah, that's kind of like just a little bit into our story and how this started and stuff like that.
I love that.
Appreciate it, man.
I
Appreciate
love
it.
that because like you guys like literally like you're. That's the reason why like man, if I'm doing something like you said you like gaming, I like gaming too, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing it anyways. Might as well just get on
Yeah,
camera, you know, and do it. Like you guys love talking. It's like a passion of yours, anyways. I mean, the fact that you guys you know bought equipment and you know made that step, I think that's dope, man. I applaud you. I salute you for sure. That's
appreciate you,
dope.
man. Appreciate you, man. Like I said, like I tell people, you know, it's like you hear all these sayings growing up, like one of them being, you know, the first step to starting something. I mean, you just got to do it, you know. And
Mhm.
it's like, you know, it's easy to say it, it's easy to bring it up in conversation or tell someone else on their journey, you know. But doing it yourself is a different thing, you know. Is stepping
Yeah,
out on faith, you know. Because I
absolutely.
mean, at the same time, while we love it, we want to be successful at it as well. You know what I'm saying? One of the big things that I want to do with these platforms, because we are also starting an interview platform as well, and what we want to accomplish is not only being able to give leads or anybody in any occupation somewhere to come, and the focus is on you. Like, I want to know about you, your life, your career. What do you want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a therapist, but it's like at the same time, it's just like I said, whatever you want to call it, it's just a platform where you can sit down and you can talk and be heard by someone that's not a part of your daily routine, that's not a part of your daily life and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Not be judged or not be this, or, you know, no expectations. Just, hey, once again, kind of like that barbershop talk. It's just,
Yeah,
man, we just talking, bro. Like, you know, whatever that conversation leads, that's where we going, you know, while we got that time. And,
yeah, but like that, you know, the one difference, I guess, between the barbers, it's like the locker room talk. You know what I'm saying? You can't stick the
yeah,
camera in the locker room the whole time. There's a lot of
yeah,
good conversations, but you know, you can't have the camera in there the whole time. Same with the barber. Same with the seat. You know, like when you in
yeah,
there, sometimes some real man stuff comes up, and you just get to chopping it up. Shoot, you might cry. You know what I'm saying? Just leave
yeah, for sure,
that.
man.
Yeah, but
For sure.
I think that's dope, man. I applaud you again. Yeah, it's awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
What do you game? What
Appreciate
do
it,
you
man.
play?
So we on Xbox, we usually play Warzone. We big into Madden. We used to play 2K, but we kind of fell off. And we'll try anything for sure, you know. But
I
like I
played
said,
those
Madden
two
is
games. Those are the only two games I play is Warzone and
for,
Madden. That's it.
yeah, I
But
know
I'm
what
on
you're
the
talking about.
PlayStation though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Madden is cross platform
I
now.
think they
So
got a
we're gonna
crossplay now. Yeah,
heck yeah,
we
we'll have
know
to
we
get
know
on there
what
sometime.
Warzone is, so we could jump on there.
Heck yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Like I said, and but it's like I look at it and it's like that's another thing too where I applaud people in your position that worked hard to get where you at, is that I'm something that I'm learning even now. I'm about to turn 28, and something that I'm still learning is that it's easy to work for someone else. It's way harder to work for yourself. You know, and
Absolutely.
that's with anything that you got going on, any dream that you have, anything that you're working toward. It's easy to, no matter what setting it's in, whether you're going and clocking in at a job or whatever the case may be, someone else's company or whatever, it's easy to hit that clock and, you know, just work for someone else and do what you're told versus this is your dream, this is your passion. Um, it's all on you. It's the direction is all on you. Where do you want to take it to? How much are you willing to put into it? You
Mm-hmm.
know, those days that you're tired. In barber school, the owner of the school, Sean Bossman Boston, he always told us. He said the days that you don't want to come in here,
Yeah.
please show up on those days because that's the days where you'll get the most out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Discipline, bro.
so,
Discipline. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of
discipline.
words, like there's certain words that, like I just keep around and they hang around my, head as I walk through the day. But like discipline, consistency, things like that, in pursuit of, anything we're trying to get, is huge, and that's like the one thing with athletes. I think. Sorry for cutting you off, but
No, you good. You good.
yeah, that's the one thing with athletes. I think like post career, it's like, to have that same discipline you had, have that same, drive, hunger that you had, for something else that you had with football, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of I went. This is my third year retired. I kind of went through. I went through the phase, and then I found a hungry phase, and I fell off of that for a little bit, and now I'm kind of back in my hungry phase, and I've been here for a while, so I'm trying to stay consistent, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to just lock in and pursue some things, outside of football for sure.
Yeah, that was my next question. So with you saying that, tell us about some of the things like post football that you've gotten into.
Yeah, man. Well, really, I was, you know, as athletes, we were young and we were making, we're making a decent amount of money. But like once an athlete gets their second contract, you make money that's like life changing, life changing for your family.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to have some good mentors, some good people around me to kind of like help with my decisions and where that money goes and how that money's placed, how the portfolio is laid out, and how to kind of protect it, through like inflation times, and
Yeah.
try and make this money like generational and not just for me and my wife and my girls to spend. It's kind of, we want it to be for their girls and their sons, or whatever, just
Generations.
kind of make this money last. Learning that has been an extreme big focus of mine. And just trying to figure it out. It's so nerve wracking and scary because once you make it, you don't want to lose it, and it's so easy. It's like it's easy to lose it. It's not easy to make it, right? So,
Right.
I've been focusing on just trying to just be involved as many deal talks as I can be. If someone says, "Hey, I have a deal, I want you to look at," I don't care what it is. I look at it. I kind of go over it with my mentors, and I just kind of get their take on it. Maybe invest if it all turns out well. But that was like my main focus, is just trying to manage this portfolio and learn.
Oh.
My bad, bro. I was getting a
Oh no,
call.
you good, bro. You good.
But yeah, the main focus was try not to lose it, and do my best to make money and outgrow this inflation thing. But then we kind of got our portfolio in a place. You can't really do much. You can't control the market. So we kind of got it in that kind of place. So now I just want to kind of follow something I'm passionate about. Problem is I got so many things I'm passionate about that I really
Yeah.
like. So like I'm kind of in like fighting myself to narrow it down right now. I'm involved in some real estate. I'm involved in some private equity stuff that I do. But like the passionate stuff, where I find like that energy, where I find is kind of giving back. And my way of giving back is not like, I'm not out like, I'm not out like handing out. My giving back is kind of, to the kids that I want to have the same hunger that like, we're finding again right now, like you're finding in this, in
Yeah.
this podcast
Oh,
and
yeah,
creating
space. Yeah.
channels thing, is to find that energy, but to find it for football or like any athletic, pursuit that they're going at. So really, like I love to help kids that can't really like afford gym memberships. My dream is to be able to afford them gym memberships, because that was something like when I was coming up, my mom was like, "Hey, like you ain't gonna get a gym membership this summer, and I'm like, damn, like that's what I really wanted, like over anything. So,
Yeah.
if I can, my plan is to be able to coach kids, through like if they're at home and they can't afford a membership and I can't get them one, be able to coach those kids, be able to have them to have things to do extra on top of their school workouts, to pursue their dream in athletics, and then once I figure it out, I'm going to be able to get kids gym memberships and just continue to just do that and supplements and just things to help them grow and kind of advance. If they're one of those athletes like I was that wanted to outwork everybody, like you can't sleep at
Yeah.
night because you're thinking somebody else is doing a workout. Like if you're that athlete and I find you, I want to help you. I want to help you, get everything you need to, get that edge that you want, that you fiend. Like I always fiend an edge. So that's my passion, man. I want to find those kids and just help them as much as I can. And I kind of call it what I got going right now. It's the work brand, and I put an extra K on work just because when I was thinking coming up, I was always thinking like you can't just work like everyone else is working. You work like extra hard, so there's an extra K. You got to put in some extra work.
Yeah.
On top, you got to like outwork the rest. So I'm passionate about that. I'm going to pursue that, and I'm going to make that a thing. I'm going to make that a big thing for. It's going to be a movement, man. So I'm happy I met you as well. We can definitely bounce some ideas off each other, and
For sure.
I'll pop on the channel again when that thing's really booming. You can help
Appreciate
me
it,
with
man.
that.
Appreciate it for
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be awesome.
And just speaking to what you were just talking about with your work brand, that's one of my sayings as well. I always tell people that no matter what room I'm in, what situation I'm in, it may be people that knows more about what's going on or this and that, but one thing that I can always control is that you'll never outwork me. I've always kept that mindset ever since I got my first job, that I'm coming in and all these people are already here, and it was just a fast food place. But,
Perfect.
it's just that I took it as, hey, these people walking around and they're used to doing this now. They know what to do. You got this new guy coming on asking questions and this and that, da, 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 don't know what to do, don't know his head from his ass, for lack of a better
Mm-hmm.
term. And it's like, you got some people that help you, some people that don't care. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But I just always kept in my mind, I said, okay, I'm gonna pay attention as much as I can. I'm gonna just watch people as much as I can, and no matter what, you won't outwork me. Because guess what? Eventually, I am gonna get that knowledge, and then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Because I always was a naturally competitive person, and in certain areas, I toned that down because I feel like I had to fit in that box at that time or whatever. But I've always been naturally competitive, and that no matter what it is I'm doing, I always want to win. I want to be at the top. I
Yeah.
used to tell people when I was at that job all the time, like, not bragging about it, but when the conversation would come up and I'm watching these other people, Slack, this and that, whatever, when it comes to affecting my job and stuff, I would, like I always felt like I'll say it like this. When I went to ask for my first raise, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
told them straight up, I was like, I'm the best you got,
Absolutely.
and it's not me,
That's a good
I'm not
position
hating
to
on
be in.
nobody. Yeah. And I would
Absolutely.
never hate on nobody. I want everybody to get their money, do their thing, be where they want to be and do what they want to do. But for me right now, I'm telling you, like, I want this because I'm the best, and you can't tell me no because I'm the best you got.
And
You know, yeah,
what the best you
I
got.
know not that
Yeah.
come every
See,
day.
like honestly, that's the shit I'm passionate about. Like you got me hyped, with that whole
Yeah,
thing right there. So like, I mean, and I'm telling you, I get it from my mom. My mom is the same way.
yeah,
My brother's the same way. And like that's what I'm looking for. You would have been a killer athlete. Like I'm
appreciate
sad.
that,
I'm damn regretful that you didn't play sports because shoot,
appreciate
man, you would have been a killer athlete. Damn. But yeah, you got me hyped, bro. That's what That's like if the hard part is, you know, for people like us is realizing that just everybody ain't like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
Yeah,
like, how are you not like that? Like, how could
yeah,
you not want to be like that, right? And it's like that's the hard part for me, and like that's where I don't know how I'm going to navigate this work world because I want to look for the athlete that thinks like that, but man, I don't know. Like as I'm doing it, I'm having a hard time. It's sad, but I'm having a hard time finding those type of athletes right now. But obviously, as I grow and as I put more out, it's just we're kind of gonna gravitate, together kind of thing. And I'm gonna understand, like, okay, like if you want it, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm
Yeah,
gonna put it out. Like if you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, forget it. Like you just ain't gonna be one of them ones. Like it is
yeah,
what it is. Like because this is just like one of the tools. Like if you're not seeking tools as a young athlete, if you're not seeking tools, then yeah, you're just not the person. Like the work brand is wanting to be there for. Even like it's just not part of the family. You know what I mean?
for sure,
So,
for sure.
but yeah, like like I know there's going to be a bunch of athletes. I know there's. I mean, when we get a further outreach, I know they're out there. And I know there's probably plenty. It's just right now, I don't know, man. There's,
Yeah,
I
it's kind
guess
of
in
like
this
you
little
got to
circle that.
build. Sorry.
No, no, no. I was just saying. I guess just in this little circle that I've kind of started in. But once I know now I need to expand and kind of get a broader outreach to just to get the athletes that are hungry.
For sure. That's like I have a younger cousin named Dannon, and I believe he's going to be a senior next year. And he's a wrestler, and he's going to state championships and things like that. And he's doing his thing. And he was coming up. He was always the really really quiet kid. He has three siblings, and he was just always quiet. And then he got in high school. He was always a stocky,
Mm-hmm.
not too built, not too, he never really played sports. And he got to school and he said, well, hey, mom, hey, dad, I want to try wrestling. And they let him wrestle. And now he's yoked up and
Yeah,
but he loves it. It's
yeah.
like,
That's what I like.
yeah. And it's like, I got him a job working with me. He was like, man, I'm not going to be here too long because, wrestling workouts and stuff like that. Like, that's what he's passionate about. And at that age, I'm not around him a lot, but I would love to make sure that he knows, like, bro, cultivate that. That could take you. You don't know where that could take you, but keep that passion for that, and then also pay attention to other things that you may become passionate about as well, and always carry that with you. Because like I said, once again, just going back to like me and my experiences or whatever, it's like being around certain people or in certain areas. If you don't watch it, they can quell that in you. They
Yeah.
can bring it down, and before you know it, it's just complacency sets in, and being all right with being mediocre or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be, and then next thing you know, you're knocked off your path and you have no direction.
Absolutely.
Now you've wasted X amount of time or whatever, and it's like you look around, and it's like you look around and you just don't know what's going on. You don't know how to reset yourself. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so that's something that I would just want to make sure. That's something that we're gonna start on the podcast next year too. When school sports start up, is doing athletes of the week and stuff. But
Love that.
just to remind him and anybody out there, like you said, that needs someone like you, that to pay attention, to just give them a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No matter what the reason is that they're in that situation, they just need someone like you and your brand to come around and say, "Hey, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do
Yeah.
these things. Let's do these things. Let's do this."
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
it's
it's
up to
like,
you.
so I think that's dope, man. I think that's super dope. Like I
Well, I
said,
appreciate it.
for sure, man. And then I know another venture that you got going on is your golfing company. So you guys do golfing simulators for homes and businesses and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, me and my brother and our business partner, we started a company called 19 Hole Golf Simulators. And we started it basically because, like we started to notice like a lot of the simulators going into homes, they just didn't do like a great job. Like the room wasn't like custom and built to how, either the athlete, the player, or like, whoever is having these simulators put in their homes. They're not like, exclusive built, they're not in there. And, looking like I would want it to look in a home, so or a company or like anything. So we got a team together, and they just are the best at what they do as far as if we needed drywalled, if we needed cushion padded, perfect turf, they just put pristine golf simulators in. It's almost like a golf simulator that's part of your house, but it's like an art piece or a furniture piece like that's involved in your house, and
Right.
it's comfortable and So yeah, we just did like custom simulators. We're not just the put the metal bars up and nets around it. We'll make a simulator room, like your dream simulator room. And that's kind of how I like it, and I know our customers are been extremely happy. So yeah, we do simulators, all sorts of simulators. We mainly stick to like 2 simulators, but yeah, we'll do any simulator, anything that anybody wants, anything you could dream of in a simulator room, we'll get it done. Yeah, man. So we're in that world tough, and I'm enjoying it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It seems like a lot of athletes love turning to like the game of golf as a way of leisure, as a way of just relaxing, and just a lot of them end up enjoying it. Was it a passion of yours? Was it a passion of yours, and that's what led to it? Being one of the things that you pursued.
Yeah, definitely. I it wasn't a passion of mine until about like 3 years ago. Went out and started hitting. Uh, I've swung the club before. I've been on a golf course
Yeah,
before, but never had like full experiences of a golf day and going out there and golfing and hitting a couple nice shots. And
yeah,
once that started happening for me, I hit a shot from 100 yards out and it landed on the green close to the hole. And it was over with. It was over with. I tell you, and you're out there in nature with your boys or your wife, and it's just like at that point it's magic, and you make a good shot, yeah, you're hook, line,
that's
sinker, buddy, it's done. So yeah, I like once that passion hit, I love the game, and it's such a challenging game, it's such a hard game. Like right now, because we had this baby, I haven't been golfing, and I'm poop, but I still love it. I want to get better, and so like to be able to do that indoors, and say you're in your boxes and you just want to go and hit 9 holes,
yeah.
that's unbelievable to me. So I had to be involved in that in some way, and I only wanted to be involved in it in a way that the way I would want it in my house.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We just do completely custom, it's high dollar now, but when you get it in there, it's the best thing you're going to have in your house, because I built 2 houses now and I know, everything costs, but, you'll spend this money on a simulator and you will not regret it. A lot of the other things,
Yeah.
like, damn, babe, did we have to get this? Like, could have put a simulator there too.
Yeah, it's like
But
having like a basketball court in the backyard or something like that. It's just
yeah,
like, but it's golfing and it's
but
like,
it's like having a basketball court indoors. Like, you know what
midnight.
I mean? Like, you can
Yeah,
go there anytime. Like, if it's raining, oh, you're good. You're blessed. You go over there and, you
yeah.
know? I don't know why.
Exactly.
I don't know if someone added in to this thing, but your video is super small now. I don't know.
For real?
It says M on the screen for me. I don't know if it says that for you. As long as it's good on your end, I
Yeah,
don't
it's good over here. Is it any bigger now?
know. No. I mean, it's
Oh,
all good. It's all good on my
okay.
end. It just says M, so I think somebody might have joined. It
Okay,
started
yeah,
like
yeah.
clapping and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was I know for one I had hit some of my media sounds by accident, so and then it
Oh,
started clapping. So yeah,
oh,
that
I
was one
love
of
it.
the
I
things.
love it.
Yeah, yeah. But nah, man, that's dope, bro. Like I said, that's why I try to tell people the everyday person, anybody, I'll say it like that. No matter what you're doing, whether you're an athlete, no matter what you're doing in life, if you don't watch it, like I said, whether it's complacency or whatever, it gets into a rhythm where you just go to work every day. You come home. You do the things that you're supposed to do and need to do, and you don't really do things that you want to do. Do things that you enjoy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So to be able to pair that with a venture that could also be, you know what I'm saying, lucrative and business wise and business minded and stuff like that. To me, that's really really cool. And like I said, the same reason we sitting here today. That's one of the things for us, and man, that's cool. So, piggybacking off of that and carrying the conversation forward, we've talked about your career and your business ventures and stuff like that. But
hmm
just like I said, people know you as Tyrone Crawford, the athlete. The like he's done this, he's did that. But I'm talking to you and kind of seeing how you're responding. I'm pretty sure that you would probably say the biggest accomplishment in your life is being a husband and father. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I'll just speak to that a little bit and how it changed your life and the adjustment of becoming a father and a husband. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, biggest accomplishment for sure. I mean, and just biggest joy is being a father. Obviously, me and my wife, we wanted two kids, and we ended up with four beautiful baby girls.
Yeah.
Uh,
Girl dad.
yeah, girl dad for sure, and it's amazing, man. That's it for us though. But yeah, we got four baby girls, 5, 4, 1, and 4 months. And
Congratulations, man.
yeah, thank you, brother. And yeah, man, it's been amazing. Just being able to be a father and know the responsibility of safety, protection, um, you know, coaching them, their what they learn, everything, man, everything that comes with being a father, guiding them in their faith, up until they,
Yeah.
guide themselves in it. It's a challenge, but that's a challenge I was always willing to take and always excited to take, and yeah, we have a good time. We have a very good time together as a family. We had a lot of smiles. And yeah, we can't complain. As a father, I mean, I just try my best every day to be the best I can be for them. You know what I mean? And uh, it's harder than I've ever worked for, like, for anything. So like football, I would say, like, the work ethic I put in trying to be the best dad I can for Mia, my oldest, is like the work that I did in football is minimal. I wish I would have put in the work. So yeah, man, like that's my number one thing. There's nothing I want to work for more than them girls. So but yeah, that comes with it, with everything I'm doing, even finding the passion. Just I can't be the dad that's when their teacher asks, "Hey, what does your dad do?" "Oh, he does nothing. He sits at home and plays video games." Like, nah, you gonna know that I'm going to meetings and going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's fun. It's ups and downs. It's highs and lows. It's dope time, man. There's nothing like it. And they keep you on your toes too. And they got me wrapped around their fingers, so I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker, bro. I can't leave the house with them in the car without getting them something.
Right.
So yeah, man, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. But madness at our house too. Mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. So I
That's dope,
appreciate you. I
man.
appreciate you bringing me into my fatherhood mindset.
Yeah.
As
That's
soon as
what's
I
up,
step out
man.
this room, it's real. Let me tell you.
Heck yeah, because I'm not one yet, but I do have one, two. I got three goddaughters,
Oh,
niece
beautiful.
and a nephew, and like I said, just being two of my goddaughters are twins, and those are the first babies that I was actually there, the first day that they were born and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And my boy, we've been boys since the sandbox, kindergarten,
yeah.
and he married a lovely woman, like I said, they have twins and stuff like that, and
It's
my
dope.
co-host, I'm the godfather to his daughter and stuff, and like I said, man, just having girls, it's like, bro, it's like I can only imagine when I had one because I know how much I love them, I know how much I love being around them. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's a wonderful thing, and like I said, it kind of just takes me back to earlier in the conversation. They're just talking about people can forget because they see you on TV or something like that, that
mm,
you have the same responsibilities, some of the same problems, some of the same things to do in your life that they do.
oh
You
yeah,
just make a different wage doing a different thing.
yeah,
Just like anybody else if they really think about it. But at the end of the day, no matter when I get off that TV, I'm going home to my family. I'm
absolutely.
going home to my wife, I'm going home to my daughters, and so like I said, that's another thing I want to make sure I accomplish in these interviews and when talking to people is to make sure that we cover everything, not just your occupation and what you do or what people know about you, but
Yeah,
things like that yeah, you see me do this, and like you said, like you're a very competitive person. You strive to be the best every day, but that's what means the most to me.
Yeah,
Once
absolutely,
again, I'm human, just like you. Like I said,
absolutely.
I just have a different type of work. I have a reason why you know me or whatever like that. But like I said, I go home and I'm a person too. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, hey, man. At the end of the day, that's a huge shout out to you. Going back to you being the godfather, the three babies, man. Like
Appreciate it,
that
man.
lets me know. I don't even know you like that, and that lets me know the kind of man you are. If a
Appreciate it, man.
person picks you to
Appreciate
be
it.
the godfather, I mean, that means you're a good man. So, shout out to you. And
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
yeah, man, it's good. It's good that what you're doing because in a lot of cases, a lot of players go through issues where even if it's if it's a random stranger or if it's someone close to them, like they just kind of don't get it. Their perception of your whole life is different because they don't have like an inside to it. They're not
Yeah.
at that close level where it's going to be a deep enough conversation like things you're bringing up right now. Like sometimes they're not even worried about your kids; they're just still thinking about the money you made. And
Yeah.
that's a challenge. That's a challenge with a lot of athletes. I mean, there's men discussion with 90% of the locker room sometimes about things like this. And we all kind of come together just to share our own experiences with it. And it helps. It helps with a bunch of players. I mean, there's testaments, all throughout the league. But yeah, man, you get to a point when you have these kids that some of those people's perceptions I can give two shits about. Now
Yeah,
like
for sure, for
there's
sure.
four little girls that I'm really worried about. Like I'm not worried about y'all no more. Like not at all.
Heck
But
yeah,
yeah, I
for
do
sure.
appreciate you bringing it up though, because there's a lot of young players that are gonna go through those. Like they're gonna like it's inevitable. They're gonna go through those struggles. They're gonna go through the like worrying about how people think about them because of the decisions they're making throughout their career. But it's hard, man. The greater you want to be, the more no's you got to say. And
Yeah.
it's tough. It's really tough to do, especially when you're young in the league. But there's going to be like, hey, I can't go to that party. Like I got to work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't make it this weekend. Like football, the NFL thing it's tough, and like I applaud guys with kids and they're still doing it, like Law. The fact that he's like managing this life out, like being a father and doing it well, by the way, but managing the life of being a father, and then having to carry the backpack of the NFL on his back too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not an easy job. Like I'm telling you that like these players are worth every penny. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, it's even just like having to deal with like the pressures, like the pressures of, I mean, you're a D lineman, and there's at least one D lineman a week working out outside, and you're walking around the facility, and you're like, oh man, like there they go, trying to replace somebody on the D line. They're trying to
Yeah.
replace you at any moment. Like it's not like you got your job and it's secure. Like nah, like
It's a
go
business.
ahead and slip up. You know. Go
Yeah.
slip up. You'll be gone. But yeah,
Heck yeah, man. So just speaking of that, is something I meant to ask earlier and I forgot. Like I said, conversation going good. Um, we had a conversation on another show where we were talking about we were talking about the WNBA and the Caitlin Clarks and Angel Reese's and everybody going to the league and stuff like that. And we were just talking about like athletes in college and what you major in, because you're especially depending on you going D1 or whatever you feel like your trajectory in life is going, to get as far as getting toward the league is like some of them I imagine I'll say it like that, they focus on getting to the league and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask, like, going into college, what did you want to major in? Did you have an idea in your head, maybe like, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna major in this and just
yeah,
have it as a backup plan or something like that?
yeah. At first I did. So I went in coming out of JUCO. I got my AA degree or whatever, and so like most of my classes transferred over, and I wanted to go into criminology because I was like, man, like SWAT and all the being like a police officer, and then eventually being a member of like the SWAT team, like I was like kind of a team guy, you know. So like I wanted to be like a part of like a badass SWAT team,
Yeah.
you know, carrying whatever gun you want. And I thought that was always dope. The SWAT guys in my city were sick. You know, I knew a father of one guy that I played basketball with. And so I went into criminology my first year at Boise, but I was struggling, man. I was struggling. And like a lot of my teammates were kind of on that mindset where it was like, hey, I'm going to the league. Like I'm taking, you know, whatever I can get through school with, you know what I mean? So I did criminology for a year, and my second year, my last year at Boise, I was like, man, I'm gonna be 17 credits short at the end of this year, you know. So I was like, let me just get a degree. So I went and got a communications degree, which is what every athlete goes into. Just so I knew I was going to get a degree. You know, again, like I didn't see. I also ended up getting to talk to the SWAT officer that you know that I grew up, you know, watching when he would come into the gym. He's all yoked up, and I actually got my teammate's dad. I got to talk to him, and he was like, "Dude, I don't even have a degree." He's like, it doesn't matter about like your degree. Most people barely use their degrees, and so at that moment, I was like, "Boom! I'm gonna get this communications degree, and I'm just gonna, you know, try my best to continue to play football as long as I can. And then once I'm not, I'm going back to my city, and I'm gonna start knocking down doors."
That was like, yeah, that was up. That was
But
up.
yeah, I mean that didn't work out, thankfully. I really don't want to be doing that right now.
And yeah, so it's like because that's something me and my co-host were debating is that you know, I think his example was like, you know, like a Steph Curry or somebody, you know. I think we're talking about 'cause I think recently Steph Curry went back and got his degree just like a lot of athletes do and stuff like that. And like I was telling them, you know, I was like it just makes us wonder, like, you know, the average athlete, like what other interests do you have outside of your sport? Do you factor that in when you go into college and stuff like that? And even when you make it to those leagues, is it still a priority for you to get your degree and stuff? Because like we talk about, it's once again, it's still a job. You know, I don't care how much you
Mhm.
love, I don't care where we see these people at, it's a job, just like we have a job.
Yeah,
You know, and so it's like with their job, they're putting their bodies on the line. And so it's not guaranteed to work out for them. You
right.
pray
Yeah,
every day that injuries don't happen, that this and that doesn't happen,
yeah,
that you strive to be the best so that you can, like you said, keep that job. You don't slip up and they replace you or something.
yeah,
And so it's like you go from 1 minute, maybe you're riding high or whatever, and it's like now you're looking for a job,
yeah,
like just like we do. And it's like so we always just wonder, like, you know, with degrees and stuff like that, is it something for the average athlete um to just say, okay, well, I'm gonna have this in my back pocket just in case,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I would hope, you know, at a young age, you know, that would be the mindset. Like, especially, I kind of battle with that one because, like, you know, I'm not like a firm believer in like how the universities, you know, like I don't think like unless you're going to be like a doctor or a lawyer, I don't think like universities are really like helping people like making degrees like seem so important.
For
But
sure.
you know, I do think that is a mindset for all of us, you know, like especially like not knowing as much, you know, as we're coming up at that age. I think yeah, having it for our back pocket is something that we do. But like when you said Steph Curry went back to get his degree, I mean, unless that's to be like a doctor or a lawyer, and if I'm Steph, I'm not going back to get me.
Yeah.
but but you know, I don't, you know, for people that do it like that. I don't know. You know, I would have to talk to him and see. If the day that it comes to where if I'm in front of him, I'm gonna ask him that question. Like, what was the year
Yeah.
that you did this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like at a young age, I think you definitely at least got to think like, hey, like I need a plan B. You know, because like
Right.
I mean, not for long is the you know what they say about the NFL, and you hear that early. You know, like you hear that.
Right.
I heard that in college. So it's got to be on your mind, you know. Like, can't be that. You can't be that. Like, I mean, you could be self confident to a point where, hey, like I'm gonna make it, but like anything can happen. God works in mysterious ways. Like you said,
Right.
an injury can happen that can just tear up the trajectory of your career.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you're not ready and you're not ready to put in that kind of work. Like the rehab work is different. When I tore my Achilles, like if you don't grind through that, like and put in extra work in that type of process as well, it's not going to be good for your career. It's going to be a downfalling moment for sure.
Right. And so, with you saying that, just going back to your career for a second, like I said, 9 years in the league. I know you said earlier you would have loved to have played longer. Once again, talking to those people that, like you said, we don't care about your opinions and stuff, but at the same time, just try to get them to people to understand that these are humans. Is like, did injuries factor into you retiring? Maybe not necessarily early, but when you did.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, man. Like I had this hip issue that always made me question retirement because like I couldn't get past it. Still to this day, it's lingering a little bit, but
You had double hip surgery, right?
yeah. So yeah, I got double hip surgery, and it relieved it a little bit. I played one more year after that, but that wasn't the reason why I retired. It wasn't the firm reason why I retired. It was a huge reason, and I knew that was going to be something. But my last year, I ended up getting an ankle surgery, and you know, it's a routine ankle surgery. Got some spurs taken out of my ankle. It was just a scope, and because because I didn't do some of the things like early on, like immediately right after you get the surgery, some of like the movement things in my leg, I ended up getting a blood clot in my calf that eventually moved up to my lungs, and it's called a pulmonary embolism. I had two of those, and luckily it got to the hospital in time where it wasn't fatal. I didn't die from it. But a lot of those, pulmonary embolisms kill people. Um, I got to the hospital and, they gave me a shot, a blood thinner that, ran through my body. And if I survived the night, then I survived. And so I survived the night, obviously. And then I had to be on blood thinners for like 6 months after that. Before that surgery, I was praying about it. I was trying to figure out like, hey, like, I've thought about retirement because of these hips, but like I still did play last season. And I feel like I can try my best to get them better. Like what's the move here, God? Like what do I do? Like how do I go about this? And prayed about it for a long time. I was on the fence about retirement, but then when that blood clot thing happened, it was like an answer. It was an answer for me because one, you can't play football on blood thinners, and it was the amount of time that I had to take blood thinners was going to run into the next season. So like you can't risk a head like you can't. We hit our heads, together probably 100 times a week. So
Yeah.
like you're getting in a major car wreck at least every week. There's a major car wreck happening to your body. You can't do that on blood thinners. So that was going to happen for the first half of the season. I was going to be a free agent, and it was just a perfect answer for me. I found a lot of peace in it. Obviously was super thankful that it didn't go further than what it did. But yeah, I found a lot of peace in it, man. Yeah, so that was my answer. For me, there was nothing else, and plus, like I said, dog, I got daughters. Like I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at that point, we had my second daughter. It's lovely to be at home. I wasn't in any bad place at home. My wife is amazing and treats me, great. Like we have a very, very, like, fortunately to have like a very good household. I'm fortunate, very blessed in that aspect. So, dog, it was simple for me. It was like 9 years, you did your thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe not, maybe I didn't hit some of my like ultimate goals, Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, all that stuff, but I felt like I did my thing. I pat myself on the back, told God thank you, and I was like, I'm out of here. Like that's it. It was perfect.
Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. One instance that I did want to ask about. I know we been here for a minute. We get ready to get out of here. Um,
Oh, I'm good.
Dez caught it, right?
Hell yeah, Dez caught it, man. Don't even bring that
Dez
up,
caught it.
man.
That's all I wanted to say. Yeah,
Don't even
Dez,
bring that up, man. Oh,
man. Like,
that was
what's that feeling like on the sideline when it happens?
that was a sickening feeling because because everybody was real like energetic about that year. Like that year's energy was better than. I mean, granted, for me, obviously, I'm kind of biased in that sense because like that was the year like that got me my second contract. Like I had a really good year in 14.
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of biased in that aspect, but like even when you have like conversations with my teammates, like if I have conversations with teammates, they're just like, yeah, dog, like the energy was different, like the aura, like everything, like Marinelli, having us running and hitting and just like everything was just different. It was it all came together. Defense was rolling. The team felt really good. Roma was rolling. Dez was jumping and catching shit over everybody. And it was just heartbreaking because that's the type of shit that Dez does. And like you know what I mean? Like he could have easily went down. Like he could have saved that ball and it could have been a whole different game. But, like that ruined it. And it was like, I don't know. It was heartbreaking for sure because that could have been the year that everybody's been waiting for the Cowboys, the whole nation.
Yeah,
but
it's like when I look back, I always feel like that was the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I watched that replay, and I know they changed the rule and stuff like that. It's crazy to me, but even with the rule change or whatever, I still look at it and I'm like, bro, at most you can call it a fumble and he recovered it. You know what I mean? But he still caught it. He made a move with the ball.
Yeah.
And it's just so that being from a fan perspective it was heartbreaking for us or whatever. Of course, not being on the field is totally different for you guys for sure. And
I mean, shoot, I don't know, dog. I think like every time I talk to like a true fan of the Cowboys, I feel like they got the same feeling as me. Like we be going through it together. Like, damn, dog, what a time.
I still watch that replay to this day, and I'm like, bro, like you changed the rule, whatever. But how is that not a catch? Like I say, once again, at most, say he fumbled it and recovered it, and it's a touchdown, or it's down at the 1. But either way, that's a catch. If by your rule definition he made a move, he failed. I was like, man, whatever, bro. But I think that will forever live on for me as a fan. Like, bro, I understand, you have people that say, oh, Cowboy fans are delusional and this and that, da. But I feel like that year for sure, if any year, like that was the year that it was supposed to happen, and it's like, bro, it's just.
But just remember, all that Cowboys fans' delusional thing is there's more haters than there are fans. Like whatever team they follow, we got more haters than their fans. So it's a sad deal, but it is what it is, man. A lot of people just don't like the best thing that's around,
Right, yeah.
Gotta hate on something, I guess.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, like I said, bro, I appreciate you coming on, man, for sure.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure.
Appreciate you, man. Tyrone Crawford, once again, like I said, 9-year NFL vet, company owner, like I said, and once again, probably the most important, father and husband. And like I said, man, soon enough, like I said, we'll be working. And like I said, man, if you ever have anything, like I said, we can help with or whatever you, like you said, you want to hit us up, man, feel free. I'm available whenever, man. And like I said, hopefully we'll have you back on in the near future, man.
Oh, we'll definitely do this again. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Much, man.
For sure. And like I said, if you can get me on with your what was it, is it your brother?
My barber. My barber, yeah.
I'd love that too, man.
He would be a great conversation for sure. I'll link you guys up for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
All right, brother. You take it easy, huh?
Have a good one, man.
Yep, you as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.